I'm Ana Lozano, and I'm going to be discussing art and social media. So, the main focus that we discussed is the way that social media helps artists with their engagement. And so, our big, broad question is, how does social media affect art? Now, that can be in a negative way or positively. But social media has become a very good marketing tool since it has grown tremendously over the past decade. And so now it's one of the best ways for artists to showcase their art. I read an article that said that people think it's better than museums. Nowadays, most people at least have one form of social media on their phone, so it's the best way to attract customers and form an audience. Most people have Instagram, there's also Facebook, Twitter, there's now TikTok. There's several ways for artists to gain a platform. And so you can post anything from your paintings to dancing, music, poems, etc. And it will more than likely get several views and clicks. The more you post, the more people you attract, though. So if you do plan on using social media as a platform, you have to be consistent, which some people find to be a negative. Some people don't want to have to post every day to gain the following they want, but that's what it takes. And so we have two articles that we used. We have an article by Xin Kang, Wenyan Chen, and Jian Kang, and it's called Art in the Age of Social Media, Interaction, Behavior Analysis of Instagram Art Accounts. And so that kind of has to do with a more positive aspect on how art affects people. And so Instagram is what we discussed mainly. That's the biggest platform that we think artists could gain, money, following, all that through. And then we have our second article, and this one touches a little bit more on the negative side. It's called How Social Media is Shaping Art, the Impact of an Instagram Obsessed Culture. This is by Naomi Martin. And so in those two articles, there's a broad spectrum. So some people think it's a very positive thing to hop on social media and to only showcase your art through there. And then some people think that our generation is just obsessed with Instagram and it's not necessarily the biggest way to shape your art demographic. But I think, in my personal opinion, I think that it's a positive thing that social media does positively affect art. We also did a discussion, and then we also discussed that social media isn't always, sometimes there's just like a lot of fake accounts. It's hard to tell if the art piece is from the actual person. Sometimes they don't give credit if they are, spreading it. Sometimes it may look like it's them. So that's kind of a tricky thing as well. But other than that, I think it's a pretty positive aspect. Our big focus, though, our like subtopic to the main topic is engagement. Engagement is the big factor that we discussed. Engagement is how people can gain money from this. So like I said, you can't really attract customers if you don't post as much, if you're not as consistent as you should be. And so that's what you have to do in order to gain that engagement that we discussed in this. And so that's our look on art and social media. Thank you for listening.